Alright, today's game, this is Fast Talking Eddie, Mr. P, bringing you Madden football. The Jacksonville Jaguars versus New Orleans Saints. The Jaguars, they have an interim head coach, Christina Taylor. While they're looking for a new head coach. So in the meantime, it'll be Christina Taylor, maybe next season, or maybe this season. Let's take a look at who's some of the candidates for head coach for the Jaguars. So, replacing Doug Pederson was the interim assistant, Christina Taylor, former quarterback, wide receiver, back in Madden 16, Madden 17, early Maddens. So, one of the possibilities for the Jaguars is Liam Cohen. So let me write that down. Liam Cohen is a potential to be the new head coach of the Jaguars. So that's a work in progress. But right now, it's Christina Taylor. The interim.
The dawn of a new season brings the dawn of a new era for this franchise. There is a new coach in charge, tasked with guiding this team to the peak of the NFL. For someone with dreams of reaching Canton, this first day and their first interview will set the stage for a career to come.
Former quarterback, wide receiver back in Madden, early Madden, 17, 16. The upgrades: Cook, Little, Trevor Lawrence, Wyatt, and Jalen all get the proper upgrades. Let's take a look at some of the roster players. They got fullback stealth alien Zeke. And of course, we got our co-broadcasters, the Squid Slandon Gomez Charlene Pinky Goober, the wide receivers. And those are the Jaguars, led by the squid Christina Taylor, the interim head coach. And for the New Orleans Saints, Banks, Blake, Quincy, Tyler, and Jake Hayner get the upgrades. Alright, so let's get on with this game. Jaguars and the Saints.
Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Saints fans, right on the door. And the welcome, your some preseason football. Off we go here in New Orleans. So here come the Jaguars, and Greg, it brings out Trevor Lawrence. Many ups and downs in his first 4 seasons. Now year 5 for the former #1 overall pick out of Clemson.
And remember now, Mike, since they made the schedule change, this week 2 of the 3-week preseason is really the opportunity to have a dress rehearsal for a lot of these starters. We see them get game opportunities and game reps, all in preparation for week 1 to kick off. But for the rest of the team, there's the guys looking to fight for roles. There's a lot of guys just looking to fight to make the best.
And he's taken down inside the 35. It's a huge play right off the bat. 32 yards.
Those are the explosive pass plays that this team is going to continue to mine all day. You can see pre-snap, the quarterback loved his matchup. He allowed his receiver to work downfield. Perfect throw, and now sets them up to try to see if they can finish this drive off with some points.
Here's carry number 1 for Travis Gets a gain of 5. Brings up second and 5. At the Saints 28-yard line. Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's second and 5. Once again, it's ETN. Inside the 25. Gain of 6. And the Jaguars first down.
Well, here's where you really see the third and short, fourth and short. The ability to just keep it simple, win up front, turn around, hand the ball to your back, and say, okay, more likely than not, we're going to get a fresh set of downs, maintain possession, and continue to find opportunities to go generate points.
Here's 1st and 10. Let's roll with ETN. Not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that. They'll stop it here. We have an injured safety on the play. You hope against hope here in the preseason, especially, that it's not too serious. From the 21, here's 2nd down and 9. Working out of his own, it's Lawrence. And the work is close to a 1st down, maybe just a tad.
The drag route, we used to say this is day one hit, so every single offense in the NFL has this sort of route, especially for the tight end position. And depending on the speed and the running or catchability of the tight end, sometimes it can lead to some of the biggest gains.
This opening drive has been a good one, but will it continue? It's a test on right now. And he'll point forward. Doesn't get a whole lot, but he got what he needed. It is 1st and goal coming up. Play is stopped. We have an injury to one of the Jaguars. You hope against hope here in the preseason, especially, that it's not too serious. So, not quite 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10. They're pretty close. From the shotgun, it's Lawrence.
I think it's a smart play, especially this early in the game. I don't think you want to start forcing throws, take any unnecessary risks, allow your team to get settled in, don't have any sudden change turnovers. So I think in the end there, you made the right move.
Lawrence now on 2nd down. He takes off. Touchdown, Jaguars.
So you know the old saying, Mike, the games don't count, but they matter. And these are the kind of things that really matter. Efficiency, in and out of the huddle, really work the offense and the process. And that's exactly what we saw here. To be this well-oiled early in the year is a great sign of things to come once we get to the regular season here in a couple weeks.
Cam Little comes on now for the extra point. The kick is good, but there are penalty flags down. They might have made contact with the kicker too late. Is our score as this kick is sent into the air. And no chance to return this one. Through the end zone. So the Saints ready to go to work on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by a 5th-round selection out of the 2024 draft. From South Carolina by way of Oklahoma, it's Spencer Rattler.
There's so much conversation around the NFL, Mike, about the importance of these preseason games. And while the final score certainly doesn't matter, there is the evaluation of your roster, your personnel. You can't replicate these live reps and simulate them in practice. So these are your moments. Go out, play fast, play confident, build those reps that you need so when the regular season comes around, you're ready.
He was looking for Brandon Cooks with that pass. And it'll lead to a 2nd down.
Red 38, set.
First carry down for and that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it.
After that negative run, I think this changes the play call now on 3rd down. So too often in today's NFL.
Here we go. 45. What? On third down, it's Rattler. He's got his feet to Rattler. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield. A gain there of 20. It's good for a Saints first down. First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
These third down conversions are just so important. Like everybody stresses, we want to possess the ball, give our offense as much opportunity to end as many drives as we can, scoring points. So if you want to stay on the field, you better be good on third down. And that's another brutal drop for an offense that has struggled to catch the ball up to this point. And yes, you can nitpick about ball placement and whatnot, but listen, the reality is at this level, if it hits your hands,
They'll get forward to about the 42. That's the former number 1 overall pick, Trayvon Walker, there to make the stop. Play a stop. We have an injury to one of the Jaguars. You hope against hope here in the preseason, especially that it's not too serious. What can they do here on third down and 7? Here we go. Ready. Throwing is Rattler. Fourth down. Sets up the Saints lining up in punt formation, as they'll say no to the long field goal and hope to pin them deep. For the second time. And Greg, it's the time of year where those veterans know they're going to make the team. They're going to be on the roster for the opener. So when you went through that phase of your career, how did you approach the preseason?
It's certainly different when I was a rookie or really early in my career than I was towards the back end. There's no question. And I think as I got older in the league and a little bit more established, my priorities of what I wanted out of those games, Mike, I think might have changed a little bit, right? I wanted to feel what it was like to get tackled. I wanted to feel what it was like just getting in and out of the huddle, keeping up with the play, getting into the new operation. It wasn't necessarily after how many catches or trying to make the roster, but it was the next step, preparing myself for the inevitability of a week 1 playing a full game in a full live environment. So this was the next step. You got to practice to get your body right, then you have a couple preseason reps to kind of take that next step, all leading up to being healthy and ready to go come week 1 of the regular season.
This defense, because once you get down behind the line, it's a loss of a double tackle.
This one here, Mike, is just all about the get-off of the defensive line. Watch how fast they go when that ball is snapped. Nowhere for this running back except to go down for a loss.
Last play went the wrong way. It sets up second and long. It's second down and 12. And in motion is Brown. Now second down throw for Lawrence.
And a quick hitter here. What you're hoping for, Mike, is that the defense can't react quickly enough because the ball's coming out so hot. But they knew it was coming, and they end up holding them to just a short game.
And in motion is Brown. Lawrence from the gun here on third down. Lost his intended target. And that'll set up fourth down.
The most important stat, Mike, to determine wins and losses in the NFL is clearly turnover differential. Your ability to protect the ball and on defense, take the ball away. For any offense, that's even more critical when you have the ball on your side of the field.
Here's the AFC Global winner from a year ago, Logan Cook to punt. Back deep for the Saints, it's Rashid Shaheed. That's taken at about the 14. Saints offense, ready to see what they can do on their second together here. Beginning with 1st and 10. Second down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Back to the air. It is right.
Just a simple hitch route. Certainly nothing special there or anything downfield, but the idea is the more of those you throw and those efficient passes, the second the defense moves up to take it away, that's when you go for the big ones.
Rolling on 3rd down, Rattler. Run is right down the field. It is a big completion. On the other side of the field. They get the conversion on 3rd down. It was a gain of 27.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
3rd downs, Mike, those are quarterback downs. Those are the downs where you tend to find yourself in a must-pass situation. And that's where the top guys in the league are still capable of overcoming it. So throw the ball downfield, be accurate with the ball. Winning on 3rd downs, that's a recipe for success.
They'll be taking down the pace in business inside of the 30-yard line. Let's reach the ends here on 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Rattler to the air once more. It is caught. From the 23, here's 2nd down and 7
at the 23-yard line.
Running again, Rattler. Will shoot to
I love the way the ball's been moving around to different guys this drive, Mike. I mean, it really keeps the defense guessing and off balance. And now, this defense is going to have to figure out how to keep this offense out of the end zone because it's 1st and goal.
They'll run here with to the 7.
He's taken to the 7-yard line. Pickup of 2. Brings up 2nd
and goal.
Here we go.
Again, it'll be coming out. He'll take this again. Touchdown, New Orleans.
When you think back to their first possession of this game, it resulted in a run. Not exactly the fast start the coaches told us was so important as this game unfolds. They get the ball back in possession too. Now they try to find some rhythm, find their identity of the game plan, and they come away with 6. So that's how you bounce back in this league. It's not always going to be perfect. Really nice job settling into this game here with their 2nd possession.
Not bad. They want to give some time out for the next quarterback. See what he can do. Tyler Schoch. And they're going to put in also Jake Hayner.
Cookie comes on for the extra point. And 6 to tie things up at 7 here in the opening quarter. Away. And this one
Jaguars
sent
take
all the
over
way
first
over the
and
back
10.
line. No
They're
fun
on the 35
putting this in
yard
the landing area. So it'll come out per the new rule to the 35-yard line. play action now. It's Lawrence. Right side. It's busy pushing so far. His third pitch goes for a first down.
The defender has to do a better job here by getting depth. He wants to elevate that ball to give his secondary defender a chance to make a play. He gets too much width, not enough depth, and a quarterback like this is going to take advantage.
Lawrence will give it to Richmond. And a determined run there inside the 40. It's a gain of 9 yards.
Gain of 9 brings up second and 1.
From the 38 now, here's second and 1. They'll stay on the ground and stay with Richmond.
Every time you're trying to defend one of these bigger guys, the key, every defensive coach preaches, we've got to get penetration and we've got to stop his feet before he hits the line of scrimmage. If these backs are able to get a full head of steam downhill at or past the line of scrimmage, there's going to be broken tackles, there's going to be yards after contact, and that's what we saw here.
On first and 10, Lawrence. That's a gain of 22. That sends us a first down and goal.
We spent so much time talking about arm strength, and while that certainly has a place in the conversation, look at the touch of this ball, Mike. It's a deep corner out. This ball needs to have the right pace, the right trajectory to not only get it over the second-level defenders, but get that ball down into the hands of his target. He makes it look a lot easier than it actually is. Loss was definitely not something they had accounted or budgeted for in this spot, and now I think it really limits what do you feel comfortable dialing up here on second and goal.
Now from the 9, it'll be second and goal.
Hey, Lion!
Now Lawrence. That's going to be easy for him. Very good pass. Jarring ball. And it's going to be third down.
He's got to find a way to hold on to that one. I mean, you're right on the doorstep of the end zone, and listen, I understand that hit is coming. But guess what? That hit's coming whether you catch it or not, and you get paid to make the difficult catches, and I would classify that one as tough, but you got to make that.
Jacksonville.
That was just too easy, Mike. It's just straight man coverage, great route by the receiver on the slant. You just can't give up an inside release deep in your own end zone, because as you just saw, it's pitch and catch.
On now for the extra point. It's up. And blue. And the Jaguars move out there 14-7.
but the defense kind of sees it coming. They've got to change it up. You can't be so predictable. Big bodies run, small bodies pass. I think that's a little bit too much.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 25-yard line.
That's good.
A nice throw from the second round pick. It'll give him a first down.
First and 10 at the 25-yard line.
So here's a play, Mike, that is clearly designed to attack the middle third of the field. So think it's roughly the space between the numbers. That's the most valuable real estate in football. And once he understood where his leverage was and he gets his head around, great job by the quarterback on time, delivered strong.
That's interference. Defense.
So they move inside the 20, first and 10 at the 18.
60 boxes.
Off the play fake, here's shot. This throw left side, taken in by Johnson. And run down as a gain of 6 on first down.
Brings up second.
Here's second and 3 to go.
The Jaguars 11-yard line.
Now a handoff to the tight end in the running game. And the Saints are going to first and goal. Trying to finish off this drive with a touchdown.
And the Saints, first down. First and goal at the 3-yard line.
Let's go. 72. Ready.
Kamara. And this one running quickly. Taken back to the 5-yard line.
The speed and the get off by the big interior defensive tackle. And when he got through there so fast, he almost took the handoff himself.
Back to the 5-yard line now. Second down and goal.
Let's go now. Go.
On the ground, it's the tight end. Close to the goal line, but they're going to mark him just
Goal line. A gain of 5 yards brings up third and goal.
So a little extra time to think about this third and goal as we hit the end of the first. It's the Jaguars on top. More from New Orleans after this. It's the Saints with the football here as quarter 2 begins. As they will see what they can do with this third and goal.
Set. 19.
Signal didn't look like he got there. He did not. And now, the tension mounts. Fourth and goal.
That one didn't have a chance.
Well, they're bringing a Jake Hayner go in there.
They do a great job of getting penetration, clogged up the run lanes, and now this offense has a decision to make here on fourth down.
The offense will stay out trying to get this final yard. It is fourth and goal.
18 card. 18 card. Ready.
Throwing is Hayner. To the end zone. It's intercepted. And celebrated toward midfield. And his outlet is going to be all set up with a short field and a catch to extend that lead.
way and results in a pick.
Brian Thomas now, and the Jaguars offense getting set for their next possession. They've got the lead, and they'll set forth trying to build on it. They're going to do that with excellent field position.
On the jump. Hey, we're on it.
We're going to run it, and this is Repeat Allen. And they will take him down at the 20-yard line. A gain of 11 on that one. That's good for a Jaguar first down.
And these are the explosive yards that open everything up. There's all this conversation about the value of the run game, but when you take a look at the best running teams, Mike, it's not necessarily how many yards they run for, it's how many big plays do they generate on the ground. And when you can generate big plays on the ground, it makes everything so much more difficult for the defense.
First down throw for Lawrence. Into the end zone. Brendan Strange. Touchdown, Jaguars. Greg, they take advantage of the good field position and move it downfield for the score.
When you take the field as an offense, there's a little added confidence boost, Mike, when you see yourself this close to the end zone. You get into the huddle, you're anxious to see what the next couple plays are. You're able to take advantage and end up punching it in.
Here's Cam Little for the PAT. He's got it. Yes, the Jaguars will take a 21-7 lead.
Saints 7.
Well, it's an interesting predicament. 21-7, Jaguars. Second week of the preseason. Still got a lot of more preseason games to go. Week number 2. So don't walk away disgruntled. Disappointed, yes. Disgruntled, no.
This one, a win for the Saints as they move to 2-0 in this preseason, getting that second win here in week 2. So that'll do it for us. For Greg Olson and our terrific team behind the scenes, I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Follow us on X at EA Madden NFL. The Saints are winners, as we say so long from New Orleans.
What a comeback from behind. Quincy, Isaiah, get the propers. And for the Jaguars, Stealth Alien Edgar, Strange, and Prince get the upgrades. And that's that. The Jaguars fall to 0-2. The Saints 2-0. Not looking good for Christina Taylor, the interim coach, with Liam Cohen considered to be the next head coach of the Jaguars. Well, this has been Fast Talking Eddie, Mr. Pete, bringing you Madden 26. Hope you have enjoyed. We still got a couple more games in this week number 2 preseason, so don't go away disappointed, disgruntled, yes, but disappointed, No, no. Just hold your horses. Hold your horses. Good night.